Yo, Skyhopper has arrived. What's going on, people? Talk to me. I don't know what that means, but I hope it's a good thing. All right, what's going on, people? What's going on? Somebody say something so at least I know I can hear him.
Yo,
Yes, yes, yes. What up? What up? Who was that?
this is Lang. I don't think I've ever spoke before.
Yeah, what up, Lang? What up, Lang? All right, cool. This is pretty much an impromptu, quick chat. Really, it's not formal reverse AMA. It's not formal AMA. It's not a Twitter Spaces. It's just let's just get on and chat. Let's just chat about what's going on towards the tail end of this year, what's kind of coming up next year, priorities, where we're at with stuff. I've been hearing a lot of murmurs around when token marketing, other people are doing X, Y, Z, why aren't you guys doing it? So I can talk a little bit about that. Doesn't mean we're not doing it, doesn't mean we're not going to do it, don't mean we've not got a plan for it. It's just a matter of kind of understanding how this all works from a structural and legal point of view and what you can do and when. Now, I don't know what we should start with. So let's start with that because I've been hearing a bit of chatter about it. So if that's a good place to start, and then we're going to talk about we talk a bit about token marketing, talk a bit about kind of event this Friday, big main event. Really excited for it. A lot of work done on that. Talk a bit about what's coming up next year, and a bit around the kind of development of this My Pet Hooligan Web3 integrated hub, and that probably should do the job. I think everybody comfortable with that. Anything else you want me to add to my list? Got a little yellow post-it note in front of me. So if there's anything else you want to add to that, let me know now, and we'll jump through it. Hopefully, this will be a bit of a back and forth discussion rather than just me talking. If that's okay. Crickets. Where's the cricket sound? All right, cool. So we're gonna have this discussion today. What I do want to say is, we can't always be around in Discord, so I can't always jump into certain conversations. There's a lot happening right now in terms of development and the milestones we've got to get out. So just bear with us, be a bit patient with that stuff, and just trust the process. If and when we can get into Discord, we will. But I also want to make sure that the guys who are developing and delivery have got all the time and resources they need to do that. It might seem sometimes, well, just jumping in Discord for 5-10 minutes disturb anything. Not really, and I believe Carl often jumps in, some of the team often jump in, but at the same time there are a lot of things that we need to press on to kind of meet some deadlines we've got in front of us. So let's start a bit about kind of token marketing. So obviously a lot of positive kind of token movement, especially on gaming projects. That's where the narrative is right now, and I've been saying this for months as well, that it was coming. The narrative's there right now. Everybody seems to be releasing a gaming token. Definitely a lot of Ponzi's out there. Definitely a lot of scam coins out there, and probably some decent ones aligned to decent projects that have actually been around. I don't know how many of them have been around as long as us, but there's definitely some newer ones kind of coming up. What I want everyone to remember here is there's absolutely no way that we're just going to sit silent and not say anything about token and just kind of drop it out of nowhere. Like, we've been working on this development of this project for, I think it's our second birthday tomorrow. So 2 years from mint date. A lot has been done. AMGI Studios is an American-based business. Things have to be done differently to how other people do them with other projects. That might be based in other locations, whether it's UK, whether it's over in Asia, whether it's Dubai, or whatever it might be. We don't understand what their setups is. We don't know. And quite frankly, we don't really care how they've set it up. We care about ensuring that our community, first and foremost, and the studio and the intellectual property and the game and everything is safe. That's the first thing. And in order to ensure things are safe, you have to go through very, very strict legal protocols when integrating tokens, when dealing with tokens, when launching tokens. We've already said that AMGI Studios will not be launching a token, right? That's not how it works. Like, no company or no project that launches a token. In most cases, some of them will do, depending on where they're based, actually launch a token. In most cases, tokens are launched out of foundations, which are not anything to do with the actual parent company that has the actual IP and property. That's a bit more technical. If anyone wants to dive into that, we can a bit further. So there are rules and protocols and kind of setup processes you have to go through before you're able to start talking to it, and before the parties that are launching the token are able to talk about it. But at that point, it's pretty much open season. It's to some degree. There's certain things you can say, certain things you can't say. A lot of people in Web3 often break the rules because a lot of times there is no substance to what they're doing. It's all hype, 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 and you might, see a nice run to start with, but overall, eventually, they all have the same fate where they just taper off. So, we are very committed to what we've been building for the last 2 years. We have a solid plan. We're going through all the correct due diligence, all the correct legal channels, again, to make sure community is safe, our tokens are safe, being the NFTs, the properties are safe, the game is safe, and we are very risk averse in these things for those reasons. So for that reason, the studio is not allowed to say anything about the token at this particular moment in time. However, that will soon change. The studio will be able to say certain things. Foundation will be able to start, building awareness for the token with the relevant, legal backup having been solidified in the background. And at that point, there can start to be marketing, there can start to be trailers, there can start to be partnership announcements, there can start to be advisor announcements, there can start to be investment announcements, there can start to be influencer announcements. And these are all part and parcel of what is necessary to get the market really hyped up and ready for a token. That is all understood. That is all going to happen. That is all, from my understanding, we have the best of the best to do every single one of those activities, from the best influencers, from the best investors who have strategic pull in this space, from the best ability to create content. We already kind of see ourselves as the best in the space on the content side of things. So and the best partners. So anything you're seeing from everybody else, we could pretty much trump that in most cases. And then when you'll start seeing exchange listings and which exchanges you on is in most cases very quick, very soon before the actual token gets listed. From a legal standpoint, just kind of talking about tokens generally overall, is you're not really allowed to say when a token's going to launch. If you're, especially if you're doing this from the US, right? You're not really allowed to say when a token's going to launch. You're not really allowed to do public pre-sales. You're not really allowed to do public sales, depending on how you structure it. I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? But some it's what risk appetite do you have? We are not prepared, being a very legitimate company, business, product, and somebody who's been here for the last 2 years, to want to risk anything and any single one of those things for the sake of a little bit of hype and for the sake of potentially ruining everything that's been built for the last 2 years. So again, keep everybody safe, keep the studio safe, keep the community safe. They're the main objectives. However, that doesn't mean that we can't market things. Doesn't mean we can't eventually talk about things, but that time isn't right this second. It's probably likely going to be. In fact, I don't want to say a date on it, but there is a plan. It's coming soon. There will be a lot of talk about who's involved, investment, a bit more on kind of token integrations into the game, and that, with the narrative that's around right now, with the skills, with the connections, and with what we do, we can make a hell of a lot of noise about that. And we are one of the OG gaming projects in the space that have been around not just for 6 months but for 2 years right now. We have one of the best prospects for Web3 gaming and even beyond Web3 gaming, and that kind of shows as well. So, like, if you watch the kind of Twitch event, there was some hiccups here and there, but that's standard on the kind of logistics side. But it shows, right? Everybody had fun. The game showed really well. Like, we've got so many edges to how we can deliver this game to various different types of players, whether it be esports players, whether it be casual players, and we're still in development here. So we believe we've got one of the best properties, one of the best possible chances of success, and for the sake of shooting the gun a couple of weeks too early, rather than waiting a few weeks, being safe, and then being able to put out all the information that we want to put out. We definitely kind of take the latter approach, despite what's happening in the market, despite what everybody else is doing, despite definitely kind of understanding that the community, and even me myself, right? I'm a community member. Let's just make that very clear. I'm a community member first. I want some tokens too, right? I want the token to be hyped. I want to get my S carrots, all of that, right? That's all important to us. And when we're sitting here and watching, other tokens launching, going crazy, people getting what they're due, it's difficult sometimes to remember that we've been working on this for 2 years. Remember that there's an element of patience required. In crypto, nobody really has patience, right? Even myself sometimes. But it's hard to remember those things because you're seeing what else is happening. Again, it's the term FOMO, right? It's the fear of missing out. All I can say is committed to what we've said we're going to do. It's in very strong motion. Every single aspect is in motion, from the marketing aspects, from the influencer aspects, for the marketing material aspects, for the partnerships. A lot of the hard graft is already done. It's just a matter of when are we allowed to push a button and actually start to communicate to the world what's coming. And when we are, rest assured, we will be in a very good place with all that stuff, given what we've got lined up. And it'll be hard and fast marketing, to the point where we are going to be, the token will be integrated into the game, and the token will be getting a TG, as already discussed. We've already spoken about early Q1. Nothing's really changed on that agenda. There's just, we are not allowed to say anything, and I don't want to kind of have anybody here risk saying anything for that purpose. But rest assured, everything's in motion for full on marketing, full on hype, full on partnerships, influencers, and we've got the best of the best in what we're doing, because we do see ourselves as the best of the best, and we want to stay in that position. That's a testament to all you lot and us, community, all holders. The fact that we've been here for 2 years and we're still going absolutely strong. We're still, one of the most anticipated, games in the space. We're still delivering day in, day out on all this. So it's a bit about the kind of token marketing, and what's kind of happening with that. Again, just to reiterate, trust the process, just a little bit more patience, and then we can have our day too. Like let other individuals do what they're doing. We don't know what rule book they're following. We don't know how risk averse they are. We don't know where they're based. It doesn't matter to us. So, an interesting example of this is, let's say Shrapnel, for instance, right? Shrapnel, great team, great project, doing really well in the token. They, from what I can remember, didn't have absolutely any run up to the token. I think 24 to 48 hours before the token was getting launched, they probably retweeted a few things from a couple of exchanges. They probably could have done more, they could have done less, but they chose to be as risk averse as possible, because it all comes down to risk aversion. And if you're truly building something special with longevity and you want to be around for 5 to 10 years, you don't want to take inadvertent risks that could ruin and jeopardize everything. So, Shrapnel did really well at the end. We will be in a different position in terms of what can be done in terms of the run up and marketing. Ours is not likely to be that dramatic, where there's like 24 hours notice before anything kind of happens. There will be a build up, but just trust the process and let us do what we need to do to keep everybody safe. That's that. So if there is, as a trusted group of community members that are on here right now, if you do see any chatter come up in the chat, hopefully I've given you enough to talk about here, and enough kind of understanding of kind of how this process works, and legally, with different legal jurisdictions across the world, how in some jurisdictions it takes a little bit more upfront to really kind of have the ability to kind of delve into the next steps. I can't see anything that's happening in chat, But if there are any questions, just electrify. If you're on here, just kind of bring them to my attention. Anybody want to know anything else about kind of token and marketing side of things? If not, I'm going to move on to the next subject, which is actually still a subject about marketing, right? So in terms of the game, we main priority is really kind of get the game dialed in, really make it as efficient as possible, really kind of reduce the requirements to get into the game and make it more accessible. Start to add the other gamification layers, start to add the other game modes, and expand it in the ways that we need to expand it. Get it integrated with our new Web3 hub that we're developing, which allows all the kind of Web3 integrations into the game and abstract some of that complexity away. So, these are all things that I've been making very clear for a while of what's going to help us be more flexible in the future. And if you can see what happened, I mean, I heard some news the other day about Gods Unchained getting an 18 rating and being taken off the Epic Game Store for play and earn features. This is why we, even before that has happened, have been taking approaches to kind of abstract certain elements away and put them within our kind of central hub, almost without knowing that this could potentially happen, being in a position where we're already ahead of that. So, like, there's a lot, all those patients involved, there's a lot of wisdom behind the patients as well. So, all that's happening as well. And, once we're in a position where all that's going in, is when we're really kind of confident that is the time to then start pushing the content creator campaigns, doing the digital social advertising, and really kind of push the budget behind promoting the game. But it needs to be in the best possible spot at that stage, because gamers are not very forgiving, right? They can play something, they don't like it, or it twitches out or bows out a bit, they're going to not play it again, they're going to talk shit about it. We want to always make sure that we're putting our best foot forward with everything we're doing, and actually not jeopardize what the future holds for all of us collectively. But to that end, we do have a tournament this Friday, which is marketing as well. It'll be on the front page of Twitch, so very easily discoverable. There's a number of Web3 gamers taking part. There is a Web2 esports team taking part in that. There's a big prize pool, so that's marketing, right? Marketing is something that we know how to do really well, but it all has to be done at certain times. It has to be done in the right way, especially when you're in the Web3 industry. The wrong word, if somebody goes and puts a rocket emoji on a tweet these days, that can be brought up in court. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, we need to be very safe with everything. That's to protect everybody and really look at this for the long run. Other people will do it. Other people will say this will happen, that'll happen. They'll hype up everything, and they'll go away. And nobody might ever know they existed or where their company is or anything. We're not going to do that. We're not in that space. We're not them kind of people. We're a legitimate organization with legitimate holders who believe in what we're doing, and staff and team members here that are literally giving their lives for this and working day and night proactively to deliver the goods for My Pet Hooligan. And kind of like just talking a bit about what's coming up, and I think we kind of talked about this on the last reverse AMA. There is a lot packed into the next few months, so just to give you a bit of an understanding of why everybody has to work their ass off, and we might have not kind of had as many AMAs or reverse AMAs or live streams recently. We've got this event coming up, so the event's definitely, there's a lot of parties in there. It doesn't look as easy as it is to pull those things off, but we've got a big Twitch event, which is a good showing for us, right? We want to get that right. Kind of coming into Christmas right now, there's a lot being done on the legal side, on the user account system, on the Web3 integrated hub, on the Web3 integrations into the token. There's a lot to be done in terms of not us, but the foundation token launch side. There's also, we're working on the others. We're also working on the new parts of the Zuckbots saga and delivery on that side of things. That's just off the top of my head. And beneath that, there's layers and layers and layers of other things that are kind of going on. So there is a lot to achieve, and there's a lot that's kind of really kind of, planned and sequenced up kind of going into next year. So we can literally pick off something off the list all the time. So month after month, we've got new delivery, new activations, new things happening, just continuing to build on the momentum and keep the momentum going, and always having something going on, which I think is one of the most important things. In any products and web, especially in Web3, people always want, what's the next thing that's happening? Okay, that's done. What's happening next? What's gonna, make people interested in the next part? So we want to ensure that there's always something going on, and especially if there's a token involved, there's always something going on that can be, a token sink as well, that can allow the usage of the token. Especially, as you know, with a lot of tokens, there's often, investors can invest in tokens, accredited investors, eventually certain things get emitted. So you want to be able to kind of take away that demand as well. So there's a lot in the pipeline, and everybody's working their asses off now to just make sure all of this kind of hits and is a reality for everybody. And to make it very clear, nobody in the right mind wants to kind of miss the positive narrative going on right now in the Web3 gaming space and in the Web3 gaming token space. Nobody does. That you guys don't, we don't, I don't, and very well aware of all that. And we will hit those milestones at the right times, and not be waiting for months and months and months and months to a position where the market may not be as buoyant, or might still be buoyant. We don't know, right? Everybody's expecting a huge bull run into next year. We don't know what's going to happen. Often you can't second guess the market in kind of crypto, but we're well aware of everything that's going on. I'm very well aware of what every other project is doing, how they've done things. I'm very well aware of how we want to do things, and I'm very well aware that we've got a very solid plan, and to make sure that what we do is as good as, if not better than, the best out there. So that's where I'm at with all that. I'm going to pause for a bit. I think I've probably spoken a bit about marketing, spoken a bit about events, spoken a bit about others and next year plan. And yeah, so that was like a good 30 minutes off the top. I hope that all made a lot of sense. Let's jump into a few questions, because I do want to get some posts out specifically relating to the event after this chat and get everybody ready for what's going to happen there.
I have a question here from chat.
Yeah.
Many of the gaming Web3 influencers are getting more and more contracts, forcing them to choose which projects to support. Do we have contracts in place with key influencers?
We do have agreements in place with key influencers already, and there's very few key influencers who don't want to be involved in what we're doing.
Sounds good. Let me see what this one.
By the way, like, we're not coming out of anywhere. We've had key influencer relationships for the last 18 months to 2 years.
We've had it for a long time.
Very long time, right? But everything has a time and a place, and the time and the place is what's coming up now, basically.
Sorry, I'm just with my little one.
That's fine, dude. Little one's having a good time.
Where are you at in terms of raising funds through VCs, angel investors? Earlier this year, we heard that Series A was ongoing. AMGI expressed that it would start early 2024. Raising funds means the world in Web3, and we would greatly benefit from having ability to hire more devs.
Yeah, no, of course. So yeah, I think, like, listen, guys, like, I'm not a director of AMGI Studios. I'm not, a C-level executive. I don't make decisions. I don't manage funds. I don't do any of that, right? So there are individuals in those positions that do that. I can't always speak on behalf of them, but the information that I get as and when, I'm happy to, as long as I'm allowed to, kind of, divest it in the right way, I think, tokens, but provide that information. Now, from my understanding, obviously there has been some money raised on the token side. I think you're all kind of really well aware of that, and you're probably aware of who some of those individuals are. That's likely to come out in a press release as and when the foundation is able to push that button. So await that news, but that will definitely come out. That'll give a bit of clarity on that side. In terms of the Series A, put a pause on that because the studio has a lot of interest in a lot of work that is being done on the AI side with potential big license deals on that with major companies. I can't kind of talk about all this, but there's a lot there that's happening that could massively affect the valuation of AMGI Studios and therefore what the raise looks like and what the terms of the raise look like. So the individuals that are involved in those conversations, that are pretty big heavyweights in that side of things, have advised that the Series A should be held off into next year for once some of these deals have been landed, which dramatically alter the landscape of the studio and valuation, to do that in the correct way as well. And these are individuals who have been behind massive companies, pretty much quite a lot of them that you probably use on your laptop right now. So take advice from individuals like that are in very powerful positions very seriously. So Series A is likely to happen early next year, and I'll make sure that everybody gets a bit of an update on that as and when that starts. And in that time, there's also a lot of opportunity for the studio to actually bring in revenue through the properties and licensing deals as well, which again dramatically affect things as well. So, from my understanding, everything's healthy, nothing stopped. We're still cracking on. Nobody's been fired. Everybody's still got the same amount of heads in place. Everybody's delivering to the best of their abilities. Now, when it comes to new hires, that's definitely an avenue we need to step into next year. Specifically, all right, some of the kind of key focus areas for next year. One of the key focus areas, especially one I'm really kind of passionate about, is making this game even more accessible. So right now, I don't believe the game is accessible enough. Right, it's on Epic Game Store, it's PC only, and to that end, you need a PC with a certain minimum spec. I want this game to be on consoles. I want the game to be on mobile. I want the game to also be on Mac, and I want this game to be available on cloud, so you can play it through a browser as well. This for me is very important, and I think once we kind of nail and get the resource in place to be able to deliver on that end as well, which is always the plan, right? That's everybody knows that's what we're going to do. I think that's important for next year. And I think, we're probably going to need to bring in a bit more resource to help with that. There's a lot of mini game stuff that we want to do. There's also the Zuckbot stuff we still got to deliver on. We're definitely going to need to bring in a bit of extra resource to help on all that. And ultimately, we're in a good position on all the Web3 side of stuff. We already amped up and got extra resources in on that side. So for all the Web3 integrations, again, really important. But, I believe we're in the space we need to be on that side. And we already kind of amped up the team last year. So with all that kind of coming together, we're definitely going to need to add specifically on the development side for sure. But that's with the aim of really making this game accessible, and that's when we've got our real best opportunity to absolutely flood people into this game, because there is absolutely at that point no reason not to, right? The game's accessible, anybody could pick it up and play, and there's ability to benefit in various different ways from being a member of the community and being a loyal member of the game playing community as well. So at that point, I think things are going to go crazy, and we just want to be in a position where all the foundations are really set for that. So yeah, definitely look to hire more in the future. From a health perspective, from my understanding, everything's in a healthy position, and Series A likely to be held off till early next year. I don't know if anybody's listening. Anybody recorded? I hope somebody did record. Is Aches in here? Aches normally records. It was pretty impromptu VC. I'm sure somebody's recorded. If you have, let me know. If not, everybody on here, you are essentially our ambassadors for this conversation. So I hope you've been taking notes, because I'm definitely going to lean on you all to kind of explain some of this stuff if questions do come up again. Electrified, back to you. Any other questions? Did I answer that correctly, or did I miss anything?
I think you covered that quite well. I can't really see anything. If there's anything, someone just tag me. I just think people just. I think, like I said, they're having a bit of FOMO. They're seeing a lot of
Yeah. Dude, I'm
damage
having
tokens.
FOMO, man. Don't get me wrong, I'm having FOMO. I'm having FOMO. I'm kicking ass here every day. I'm like, yo, we got this, we got this. Like, I'm having FOMO myself. Don't get me wrong here.
I think people just need to take a step back and realize that obviously we've been building for 2 years straight now, and the token launch is very important for both members and the team itself. Like the team hasn't been earning royalties for almost a year now, so the token launch doing well is obviously very good for the team too, not just the holders. So obviously they're going to do whatever they can in the best interest for both holders and the community. So
Nobody. It's in everybody's interest to make sure that make a huge splash with this and everything does well. Like it's and doing all the relevant bits to ensure that happens, which includes marketing, is also very massively important. So yeah, everything's in play. Everything has a plan. Everything has a purpose. Just a little bit more patience, and everything should be good to go. Yeah, ambassador start ambassadoring. I like that. I like that rage restart. So for now, let's move on to some positive, happy, fun stuff.
one more
We got this.
question. We're definitely still on target for Q1 2024.
Yes, 100%.
Perfect.
100%. I'm not even looking at late. I'm looking as early as possible.
Okay, sounds good.
Nobody wants to miss this narrative, man. Okay, cool. So yeah, a lot of positive things happening. So we've just spoken about kind of accessibility on the game. We're talking about the others, Zuckbots, which spoke about token. These are all big drivers for attention, and we want to get all that smashed out to the best of our abilities and in the way we know best as well, right? I know everything about Web3 marketing. I know a hell of a lot about Web3 marketing. You guys don't know still a lot about me, right? And you'll get to learn more about me soon. But I know. You guys know my background. You know which companies I've come from. Like I know a lot about this space, but I also know I also know, how can I say this? I basically don't want to cheapen our reputation as My Pet Hooligan and AMGI Studios, which a lot of people can do by saying certain things that we can say, and it'll get people hyped. We're not a cheap, run of the mill, here today and gone tomorrow kind of project. We've got to be here 5-10 years, right? We've got to continue to develop on that. We've got we got one of the best IPs in the industry. That's got a million arms and legs. We're an entertainment studio that's filled with games developers, storytellers, animators, filmmakers. Like we've got all this stuff at our disposal, and we need to do things in the right way, in the right order, and make everything work. Lord Vic, everything's going well with Brand Liaison. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in play there. You're gonna see a Hooli New Year's resolution video soon. And let's see what Hooli's got to say about all this. And you can deduce from that what you want. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of positive movement, and one really kind of thing I'm really kind of looking forward to this week is the main event of our tournament. Big shout out to everybody who participated last week. Again, I know there was a bit of in the game server which was being handled by Community Gaming. I think there was a bit of miscommunication there. I think some people might have missed out on getting their chance to compete, but lessons to be learned there for sure. This Friday we've got the main event. There will be a tweet going into that a bit shortly. 15th of December, 6 p.m. EST. I'm going to talk a bit about the format and how that works. So I know there's been a lot of questions, but again, there's loads of tweets coming out about this, which will give you a bit more information on that. So the tournament starts 6 p.m. EST. We're going to go into the 10 people who made it out of the prelims. There's going to be 5 people who are going to join. They're going to be from partner communities. Shrapnel will bring in 1 player. Journey Crypto will bring in 1 player. Dogepan will bring in 1 player. We already know who those guys are. Neo Tokyo will bring in 1 player. And Games GG are going to bring in 1 player. So there'll be 15 people who will now compete in a free-for-all at Anarchy. First round, 15 people tee off. Top 8 go through to the next round. Next round will be the final round. And that's where the prize pool will be distributed accordingly. There will be cash and there will be some NFTs at play as well. So that's pretty much the first leg of it. And the second leg of it is going to be a team of 5 Web3 gamers, pretty much a lot of the people you already know, versus a Web2 esports team who will be announced shortly. It's not Team Liquid. It's not Cloud9, but it is one that's very well respected in space. So they'll face off in 3 rounds of Coinpocalypse, the Web3 team versus the Web2 team. There will be a small prize pool attached to that, but it's also for the honor of Web3 gaming. So the Web3 team, we've got to support them. We've got to make sure they win because we will be on the front page of Twitch. And if the Web3 team lose, it ain't a good look for any of us. So let's definitely kind of show some support. I want everybody turning up in full numbers on that. It's going to be a fun event, and it's also a very good public showing of My Pet Hooligan. With individuals involved in it that can really kind of push it far and wide. So the announcements and all of that will start to go out soon. We run this whole meeting one more time for late joiners. Sorry, dude. So I already spoke about Gods Unchained, and I already spoke about our vision in the last reverse AMA, which essentially, not even knowing what was going to happen to Gods Unchained, was essentially an answer to all of that. So thankfully, we have some good thinkers in our team who are always kind of trying to think in advance of what are the possible pain points that could arise. How do we react if anybody tries to change rules and make things unfriendly for Web3? And that's the Web3 hub solution that we've been talking about probably for the last 2 reverse AMAs. So go and check those out. Still in production, and I'm really bullish about that whole system. So yeah, bring it on. Because ultimately, we don't want to be at the mercy of anybody else. That in any business, you never want to be at the mercy on anyone else, whether it's supply chain, whether it's distribution. You always need to be in control, and that's where we need to be with all of this. Okay, cool. I think I was talking about the event. Yeah, definitely tune in. Another thing I am going to touch on here is I mention this all the time, right? But I'm going to mention it again because this is all of your duties as individuals who are eagerly anticipating activations, that are eagerly anticipating tokens coming out. Let me make this very clear. When it comes to any token coming out, when an exchange, if you want Binance, if you want Coinbase, if you want KuCoin, whichever exchange you want, when it comes to them looking to list a token, they're going to do 2 things. They're going to go in Discord and they're going to see how is the community, what are the behaviors like, are they engaged? Number 1, they're going to look at Twitter and they're going to see how much engagement are these posts getting, what's going on, are the community engaged, who are the partners. I cannot stress, this might seem like a minor, and everybody talks about marketing. I can't stress how important it is for every single individual that's part of our community or watching in to make sure they support absolutely everything that's going on. Because when those exchanges start to look in, we want to make sure that we are looking as top notch as possible in every aspect of those things. Whether it be amount of likes, retweets, engagement on posts, whether it be communications in Discord and chatter in Discord, these all need to be top notch. The better it is, the better chance you've got of getting on a tier 1 exchange. That's what they look at. As much as they look at which partners are involved, who's the team, how's the legal structure, how's all this. Their main thing for an exchange is always going to be, is this project going to bring users to our exchange? Are they going to transact and use our exchange? Is it going to bring us volume? And they're going to make that decision deduced on how is the community? Are they engaged? Do they respond?
Can I speak? Can I just say something?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Right. Sorry to interrupt you, but you're on about Discord and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We got a dead channel called Zupbot channel. Yeah, it's dead. Yeah. We have a chat channel where newcomers come in. It's half dead. Yeah. Right. Why don't you just have all one channel? So what if somebody don't hold a hooligan? They don't get the benefit of a hooligan. Do you get what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. So these are ideas that we toyed with. So a lot of the Discord kind of like channel structure, some of the channels are definitely going to be dead, right? There's too many channels. I think our Discord there's way too much going on in it. I'd like to simplify it. Now, if everybody in the community is open to that, talk offline amongst yourselves. And if you're all open to it, dude, I'd love to just have a few couple of few chat channels, some VC channels, and that's it, and a bit of information.
Can I just tell you something? Because what it is, the majority of Zupbot holders are hooligan holders.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. Again, that was a suggestion that came out of the community to do. But I'm all up for it, and I've always been up for making Discord as simple as possible. It's a maze, bro. If somebody was coming into our Discord, they wouldn't know where to go. But I want you guys and gals as a community to tell me you're comfortable with us making it more simple.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if there's Zupbot, some guy come and bought a Zupbot, discharge, all they see is a non-active Discord because all the actual Zupbot holders are hooligan holders in the hooligan chat. So it makes sense. Let's sort it tonight. Get rid of all the channels and let's.
We can't. Yeah, Petty's talking Electrify. Electrify. The probably reason why you can't hear him is because you might have a red mute on him, which is a server mute. Not for any bad reason. I've done that myself sometimes. So when that happens, you can't hear him. Yo, Evil Hopper, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But let's just make sure that the rest of the let's make sure the rest of the community are happy with that first. And let's come to an agreement on what channels we want, what channels we don't want.
Well, can you do some sort of post then where people react to whether they keep or get rid? Do you know what I mean?
All right, yeah. Give me. In order to do that, I need a bit more time, right? So just bear with me on that because I'm trying to get some stuff sorted for this event. So let me just make a note. So clean up Discord, and let's get some polls going with polls. Yeah.
But can you also have an advantage of why it's being done and stuff like that, so people don't just come in and just think, no, don't get rid of that channel. They got to understand why.
Yeah, it's like some people might have channels because they've got their own little crews going in there, which is also a good thing. But yeah, let's come to a decision that everybody's comfortable and do that. I'm 100%. I've always been for that. I'd rather just have like a couple of information channels and like one chat. But I understand why. There is also importance of having a holders only chat. I think that's really important because you can have different discussions in there that you might not have within the general chat. But I think having all these extra chat channels, I don't think is necessary.
Yeah, just have a holders channel. That's it, all in one holders channel. Simple.
And then we still need a general chat channel for people who are not holders.
For public.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Let's work on that. I'm with that. Be interested in hearing any other kind of thoughts. Yeah, for some reason, Petty, you're not on Electrify's Christmas list because you can't hear what you're saying.
What a bumhole.
Well, he didn't hear that either. But shout out to the UK, dude. I might see you soon. So definitely come see me in Manchester. We'll go for it. We'll go get a kebab since you're always eating kebabs.
I'm eating one right now.
Yeah, we could tell, man. We could tell.
I can even send proof of receipt in the chat.
Sorry, Lang, what was that?
I live in Manny as well, so hit me up when you're back from America.
100%, brother. Definitely. I will be back. I got people to visit. All right, yo guys. I want to get back to business. I hope that provided you some clarity on some things. There's a hell of a lot to look forward to. Just remain positive and just trust the process and let us do what we got to do because we want to do this stuff as much as you guys do, and we don't want to do it in silence either. So deduce from that what you can, but I'd deduce a hell of a lot from that and be positively excited about everything. So unless there's any other questions, let's try. Unless anybody wants to say anything, I gotta get some actions done. And I'm personally, and so is everybody else in the studio, is working their asses off to deliver for you all. This is what we want to do. We want to make this game absolute smashing success, and we know how to, and we're going down that road. That's it. And if anybody else is from Manchester or the North, give me a shout because I'll meet you guys up too, and you can finally see what my face looks like. Some of you already have actually. So
Skyhopper, for the tweet, do you have that ready, or do you need to put it together?
What for the event?
No, just a tweet that you want to tweet out now, because we've got about 30 people in here. If we can get the algorithm working and get 30 tweets within the first couple of minutes.
Okay,
would be
all right,
good.
why not, man? All right, I'm going to tweet right now, which is a tweet that says, "Get ready for the main event and finals this Friday, streaming live on Twitch, December 15th at 6 p.m. ET. 15K of prizes up for grabs, and the honor of Web3 gaming is on the line." That tweet is going out right this second.
All right, there's 30 of us. Or
Should I say it's
40
going to be on
of
the front page of Twitch or not in the tweet?
us. Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Right.
And if everyone just jumps on Twitter and just retweets straight away, let's see how the algorithm works.
Streaming live on the one sec, on the front page Twitch December 30th. Yeah, so just bear in mind, like, probably the first 15 minutes are not going to be on the front page. It takes a bit of time for it to get promoted. Yeah, first 30 minutes. Streaming live on the front page Twitch December. Okay, everybody ready? Tell me when you're ready. Let's fire.
We're ready. We're ready.
1, 2, 3. 1 sec. I need to make sure we do a spell check. By the way, I do not administer the My Pet Hooligan Twitter account. Let's make that very clear. All right, let's go. Tweet is out there. Go raid that. Go raid that shit.
And make sure you leave a comment.
The guy called Rabbit Ricardo, who does all the socials for My Pet Hooligan. And he's just sitting right here, right now. All right, yo, we got 10 likes. Let's go.
Here we go. Look at that.
All right, cool. There's going to be a bit more info getting added to this as a comment, but that's going to come shortly. Everybody, again, thank you very much. Appreciate you all. Got love for all of you. And we always want to do what's right by you all. Just sometimes we need a bit extra patience. I know I'm not very patient myself, especially in crypto. I'm the kind of guy who like buys a coin and like expects it to move in 5 minutes, and if it doesn't, sells it at loss. I've done that so many times. Trust me, I know how you feel. All right, thank you very much. Let's go. Let's all make sure we let everybody know to tune in on Friday. So good luck for us. It's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be a great showing. Peace. And thank you to the mods and everybody who asked questions as well, because you know that does always prompt a chat. I need to get a bit better at being in Discord more for sure. So always hold me to that. That's my duty. That's what I've got to do. See you in a bit. All right. See you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.